Hey y'all, welcome back. We got another video we're going to react to. This video has taken the internet by storm. It's only been out for like 3 days or so. But the thing is, it's causing kind of like a heated debate, mainly because right now Yachty is going back and forth on the internet. And his public, the public's opinion of him is going in several directions. And it's not a good look for Yachty. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to try and either be neutral or take it from a middle standpoint. Because at the end of the day, if we're being completely honest, like Yachty is human. But what happens is there was a weird interaction between Yachty and his boy Mitch. And the interaction, I'm going to give y'all my opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion. In context, what kind of leads to it is that they were just talking about people and moving on point, and Yachty had said something actually really good a couple sentences before about, you know, you're safer in general when you're not antagonizing people, like smoking on a dead and all this other stuff like that. But essentially from this point forward, Mitch is basically, like, Yachty starts it off kind of like, who am I to, you know, tell somebody not to do whatever dirt they need to do to feed their family. You know, I'm not gonna tell them not to, because yeah, I guess Yachty's point, and I'm not gonna like pretend like I know his point 100%, but I guess his point to it is like, you know, people got to do what they got to do, and sometimes it is by any means. And Mitch is like, you know, no matter how bad it gets. And again, this is me like hella paraphrasing. I believe this is the sentiment that they're saying. He's basically like, no matter how bad it gets, we should kind of tell him, like, you know, there are other ways. And that's when the energy shifts and things get like weird. You're gonna see it is a it's weird, but it's, in fact, let's watch it. I'm gonna give you all my opinion. Let's watch it.
People who just want what you have.
Right.
If you got a nice watch on and you by yourself and you don't put no bad energy out there, but shit, some gotta eat, gotta feed their family, however the case may be. So that's when the militant part comes into play, because sometimes people just unfortunately don't want to put in work and just want what you have.
Right.
You know? And that's a whole different conversation, because I ain't been rich for.
I'm not like, sometimes at the end of the day, there is a truth to, like, some people don't want to work, but sometimes people are put in certain situations that they have to do bad. It's not as black and white. That's why in that part I can understand what Yachty was saying. It's definitely not as black and white. But this next part is kind of where he loses me as far as the interaction goes. We're gonna see.
Forever. So I can't never sit and say that I don't know what it is. I know what it's like to not have no money in your bank account.
Right.
You know? I fortunately don't know what it's like to not be able to feed your kids. But like, bro, I done been broke before. So like, who am I to tell? That's the double-ended side of, like, who am I to tell not to go do what you gotta do?
No. We need
And I'm not
to
gonna lie,
go do that.
Mitch, I think in this point I kind of agree with what he's saying. We should look to the people with the influence to say no, to be like, bro, it's another way. This is where it kind of goes weird. I'm not gonna say he went weird because he was disagreeing with Yachty. Maybe, again, Yachty's been dealing with a bit, so he might be frustrated how some things came out. But I definitely think that we should be telling, especially young ones, like, nah, that's not the way.
There's other things you can do, bro.
You can suggest
other
it
things
all day, but
Yeah, you can suggest it,
Like,
like what? You ain't never had a
weird man
job. What
for
you gonna tell them to
theyself.
get a job? You gonna tell them to get a job? How could you tell them that?
Yes, I really yes, because you can even if I.
But then it's contradicting.
It's not contradicting, because I'm telling him what I would have did. I ain't finna go out.
But you wouldn't have done it.
This is where things just keep, in fact, getting weirder and weirder. Because it's like, I don't know. We're gonna let's just.
You didn't get a job. We were scammers.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yeah, we learned from
you
that.
tell them to get a job now, they think that's the lamest shit ever.
And it's
That's
not.
true.
They think it's a real problem.
It is true.
I ain't gonna lie, that's because the rappers, they make it. I'm not gonna say it's all because of the rappers, because there's obviously other factors. But when people are seeing fast money and cash galore, and that's all everybody want to see, that's all the ladies want to see, going in for 2 weeks and then waiting for 2 weeks to get your paycheck and working a normal job, I feel like, I don't know, they know, maybe not these two specific rappers, but y'all know rappers play a big influence on why things appear lame, especially when y'all get on tracks and basically rap about how everybody broke and you're so broke and y'all got to share a bottle at the section and all that. So, of course, people want to live like, kind of like y'all. But again, it's not just only rappers because there's street dudes living crazy too, athletes, things of that nature. So
But that is true though. Don't want to get jobs. Mitch, you wouldn't get a job.
But not because I think it's lame. I'm just not on that, though. I don't think it's
You're
lame.
not on it because you think it's lame.
No, I'm not on it because I mean the other shit.
see, that's bros going back. This is just bros talking. That's not. But it is taking that turn. But this is just like normal interaction between some bros.
No,
No, you're not on it. Yeah, but you're not on. But you ain't always had money though, bro. I remember a time when you ain't got know what to do. You ain't get no job though. For a fact, you ain't get no job. Especially when your homeboys coming home in a Bentley, goddamn flexing. They got flexing on. You ain't get no job. Hell nah.
And it makes sense. How am I gonna
Ain't
tell
gonna
you just
lie,
came home in
that's
a Bentley,
another
bro?
problem, bro.
Like,
What?
Weird. And I feel like people are saying like, oh man, Mitch needs to stop capping. And sometimes you got that one homeboy, he just capped. I feel like in general, what he said, I guess it was really brushed over where Yachty was like, we were scammers. And he was like, we learned from that. I think overall what he says in the long run is like, hey, we've been there. And obviously we realize that that's not the way to go. I think Mitch is right. At the end of the day, I guess the point that Yachty would be making is like you talking, but you wouldn't have gotten a job. But people are allowed to later on change their opinion. Maybe old Mitch was seeing things in his environment and all that, looking back, and he probably was like, oh, heck nah. New Mitch probably looked back and be like, you know what? In the long run, a job would probably be a better deal for most people, so they didn't have to go through some of the things that, I don't know, they went through. That's...
Count my pockets.
It ain't even just that. It's just like sometimes like your partners don't understand. Like y'all don't have the same lifestyle. So like you know what I'm saying. Everything ain't for everybody. So like that
you gotta
goes
think
with
about
it.
it.
That's a fact.
I can't get no job. I ain't finna do this. I ain't finna do that.
Right.
Because they wanna live like the rapper. They wanna
Everybody
live
want
like
to live
that.
like the rapper now.
Low key, I feel like if you get on, it's obviously easier said than done. Some dudes is stupid, but sometimes, obviously, if you have that relationship, you should give your boy a job. Not like you should give your guy a job. And
The athletes too.
this is actually gonna tie it in.
But it's other.
I trade spots with athletes right now.
A lot of times I've said I would definitely trade with an athlete, except the fact that a lot of athletes be dumb, corny, bro. You can be rich, but you can't teach swag.
Yeah.
That's just being a rapper.
one thing.
You just
A lot of rappers be corny too.
like, not every rapper got swag, but
That's the one
most rappers, you just naturally are cool. You know, like rather no matter if you rap about the streets, you rap about fashion, you a hipster. Most rappers, the cool ones, the biggest ones are cool, and you can't teach it. Now some athletes, there are cool athletes, but majority of athletes just got money.
And it's not really a requirement either.
No, it isn't a requirement. All you need is raw talent. Like, if you need raw talent, you're going for it. I think I do agree, because to be a rapper, there are hella rappers that they consider corny. I don't, like, people think Chance the Rapper's corny, Tyler the Creator, Logic, Jordan or Lucas or whatever. Those guys aren't terrible at all. Those guys go crazy. It's all subjective, but definitely, if you're an athlete, bro, you could be dressed like a goofball. If you could run that ball, if you could do windmill dunks, it don't matter. So in that regard, if I could, I'd probably be either an exec or an athlete. I feel like with an exec, you got to put a lot of your money up to make the business work, and I think that's where Yachty is in there, because you got to take some L's. You just have to charge it to the game. But I can see the athlete point.
So,
No, exactly. You're superhuman. You know, you dunk. By the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Shouts out to all the dunkers. But
wait, hold on. I want to go back to this conversation about suggesting out there that want to go rob. No, it's other shit. Like, even if I.
well, first off,
even
we're not suggesting nobody go rob. I never said, yo.
I'm saying just go get it, whatever the way that's not the righteous way. I'm just saying, maybe
so
back in the past.
This is where it gets weird.
What are you
Listen,
gonna
I'm
say?
going to say it right now. Yeah, even though maybe in the past, probably didn't live like righteous back then, but, we found.
Growth, changing. Remember, maybe old Mitch wouldn't think that, but new Mitch.
Found the righteous path, and that is what you should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe
I can't let you say that because you're not being honest.
They don't want to hear
You're not being
that
honest. You're not being honest.
What you mean I'm not being honest?
What are you being honest about right now? What path did you
No,
find?
I'm saying there's other shit this can do besides
what?
shit that's not
What did
righteous.
you do?
Learn how to make beats.
What?
Yeah.
Why? What make you say?
No,
What make you
why?
cheek?
If we even going to
Now, this is where it stops being about Key Clock. This is where it's like a. This is where it stops being. I would be so weirded out if I was here and this exchange happened. This is when it stops being about Key Clock, and it's not funny, but it kind of is a bit funny.
why?
What make you people
What do
this?
you mean? What?
What do you mean?
Because
Pick one. Go ahead. Pick one, cause I'm about to light you up.
What made you say like the producer line? What made you want to go that way?
I just always like the first time I heard a beat that was like dumb amazing, I was like, yo, I need to learn how to make that. So that's what made me start like making beats and shit.
You sound like you lying.
All right. Cool. Now let's go back.
And look at Mitch's face. You could tell things is weird because I feel like he's being genuine. Obviously, I don't know. When dudes tell stories, it's a little peppered in exaggerations here, but I do think in the long run, like Yachty, if he was pulling up to the block in a Bentley and living crazy, Mitch probably looked back like, hey, you know, because it's inspiring. You see your guy, he's living his dream. You're like, I really believe he probably definitely wanted to be a producer. He probably looked back and like, if Yachty can do it, not even in a negative way. Like I've seen where he came from, I've seen his family. That means I could do it. So I think in that regard, he was telling the truth, and you could tell in his face that like they kind of like low key undermining how he feels.
Travel backwards, Mitch. Right. Let's go back to what year do we want to go to?
Which way this?
All right. So.
But I know I'm right, so I'm. What's
Okay.
up?
Okay.
What's
Cool.
going on?
I also agree with him. There's more ways to get it than it's not by any means because your consequences will catch up with you.
So let's go back to 2015. We was at my mama's house, right? I'm at my mama's house. Now Mitch is like 2-3 years older than me. All right. Now Mitch came to me, and for many years, you didn't just start making beats. By the way, you've been making beats since who knows how long.
Remember that point. Even Yachty himself said you didn't just start making beats. You've been making beats for who knows. Meaning this. Remember that point because there's a point of when Yachty's talking that I'm like I'm not. At least some of the comments don't make sense for me when they start kind of low key like bashing Mitch.
A long time. All right. And up until how long have we been doing this? Okay, so up until about maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, what you spent a lot of time trying to find your steps.
Right.
Right, but so
That's
to
what I'm saying,
sit
that's
and
my
make
point.
No.
Like, but isn't that the point of life? First of all, you could tell by Yachty's energy that the conversation is going a different direction, and off bat, for you to kind of call your man's out, especially, you know, let's.
Imagine if you didn't have a friend who's already extremely successful to help you get on your feet. A lot of people don't have that.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be completely mistaken, so y'all don't flame me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Yachty was popping. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Yachty. Obviously, he's writing for Drake. He's writing for the City Girls. He's writing for a lot of other artists. He's got his hand in that bag. He is a very big source of creativity. But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it that Yachty was making music and his mom knew, I think, Coach K, and his mom took his music to Coach K? Again, I could be mistaken. So obviously, it did take the work. It did take the grind. But in this regard, to make it seem like if I wasn't here, let me not take his words and play with them.
So what I'm saying is, what do you say? Because you didn't want to get a job. I never even suggested you get a job because I knew you wouldn't get a job. So what do you say to a who like, hey, I see a with a shiny watch. I got a gun, a dusty gun. It's gonna take a shiny watch. You know what I'm saying? What are you telling? I'm not gonna encourage it, but you gotta think about people got
And what I'm
families.
telling you is, it's shit you can tell.
Key Glock is right here, like, bro, look, you know he hasn't spoken. Look where his mic is at. Look where this man's mic is at. He's definitely, yeah. This conversation stopped being about him. That's crazy.
What?
Even
what?
if
But
what I'm
put your-
telling you,
think about
but listen,
yourself,
but
though.
listen though. Even if then, that's the point I'm trying to make to you, bro.
What point?
Even if I wasn't doing shit righteous then, older now, so I would not.
That's what I'm saying. His whole standpoint is like, obviously, and this is where my disconnect kind of like really, really starts to go in a second gear, because it's like his whole outlook is, I'm older, I realize what I did. I realized it was wrong. It was stupid, and there are better ways, other ways, and I feel like Yachty kind of holding him to his past. It's like, yeah, like you ain't get a job back then, and he's like, well, now that I'm different and I don't know, y'all. What do y'all say? Comment. Let me know. Let me know.
Tell it to do
Yeah,
anything
but
like I was doing back then, bro.
Yeah. But
That's what I'm trying to tell
that's
you.
fine. But that's because you've been through years of development.
Bro, that's the point of it. So I can. So I'm saying that's the point.
But think about
Yachty's literally not listening to what he's saying. They're literally speaking about two different things. Well, they're speaking technically about the same thing, but they're on two different pages. It's actually wild.
remove me from this situation. Remove me. I was never in your life. What the would you have been doing?
That's where you lose me, because what do you mean by that? Like, you're basically saying if I never came to, or if you never came to my life, like, I would never have been anything. And obviously we don't know. Maybe he wouldn't have been something. Maybe he would have been right here where he started. But I feel like if that's your guy, if that's like your day one, I mean, you were saying that he was at your mom's house. If this is like your brother, there is no way. Sure, maybe you get frustrated with your mans. Maybe this is a conversation that needs to happen. And watching it again makes me really realize that, like, Yachty wasn't understanding what Mitch was trying to say, because Mitch is speaking from the perspective of like I look back and comparing the two, as an adult, as older, definitely wouldn't have went this way. But if you're basically saying, like, if I wasn't there, like, what would you have done is crazy to your mans out in public. This video has over, like, what, 220 something thousand views, if not more. And that means you shot this, saw it, edited it, put it out there. This is a wild private conversation. Like, I would never in my life have this type of, like, open, like, if I wasn't in your life, like, if I wasn't here to help you, like, if your help comes at a price that you just gotta remind me or tell people every now and then, and obviously there's gratitude. If somebody puts you on, I think it's usually a common gesture to be like, yo, I'm gonna make sure this person's straight. I want him to know I appreciate the help. But if your help comes with you having to remind me, and you saying it in front of Key Glock, and then you're saying it in front of the world, that, like, you can kind of keep the help, bro. You can kind of keep the help. That's what I would never. I personally, I would never do this to my guy. And people like, I've seen them in the comments. I'm awesome. Y'all haven't lost $900,000. Y'all barely got $1,000 to give people, and if you gave somebody $20, no. Sometimes you do literally have to charge it to the game, especially with the people you care about. Like, I literally would never do that to my guy.
Might have been doing that shit. Who knows what you would have been doing if you ain't.
Let me go back a second.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's fine, but that's because you've been through years of development.
That's
Bro,
the
that's
point.
the point of it. So I can.
See,
So
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
that's the point.
But think about, remove me from this situation.
And that's
Remove
what.
me. I was never in your life.
So my life wouldn't have been
What
nothing.
the would you have been doing? I feel like you might have been doing that shit. Who knows what you would have been doing if you ain't having to show you.
People in the comments, they make it seem like Mitch is wild, ungrateful, and he's disrespecting Yachty. Literally, not a disrespect. From watching this again, I realized it's like, this is just a normal conversation. Yachty's like, hey, people are out here. I can't stop anybody from. I think it's really a disconnect. It's not even like a argument. He's like, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. You can't convince somebody to live right when they want to live a certain lifestyle. They want to get it the fast way. A lot of people aren't going to take that time. They're not going to take that effort to do it. Mitch is like, I feel you, and you're right. But now that we've seen it from the other side of that fence and we have influence, we should tell them, don't do that. Probably with the concept of, like, more people don't make it out of that, or more people don't get to see that other side. But now that we're older, we realize that, that was foolishness. And now people in the comments make it seem like, oh, Mitch just talking and he just lying and he capping. He's just yapping, and sometimes you got to call your bro out for yeah. And it's like, obviously, the opportunities he was afforded by doing all this stuff let him change his perspective. Maybe he would have been in the same place. Maybe he would have been different. But his whole argument isn't necessarily about him, but rather, and even then he still mentions that, looking back from an adult perspective, like, he's like, nah, I shouldn't have even went down that, like, lane,
right there.
What are you saying, bro?
I'm saying that what you're saying is not. You're not like it's not true. You wouldn't tell him, hey man, just go get a job, man.
No, I ain't saying no. That's not what I said. I ain't saying I was telling nigga to go get a job.
Key Glock mic. Wait, his mic hasn't been anywhere near his face. He looks so awkward. He looked like, bro, what are they doing right now? Like what are they doing? Like this is wild. Like this man just like this is obvious. I'm not trying to laugh at this. This is not a haha moment, but you could tell he just want the subject to change. I would want the topic to change as well.
I ain't say that. I said I would just suggest other things.
Like what?
Like if I had a gun, I would just suggest other things.
Like what? Cooking?
Like I don't know, brother. Put the gun down. Bro.
Like juggling? You want to juggle the guns?
Do you know what souffle?
Now this man's being condescending, but kind of like in a funny way. I'll give Yachty that. Like,
Just trying to make a souffle.
solid argument. Now that you're older, you can look back and be like, man, there are other. What's wrong with being a chef? Yeah, I know it's the money. It ain't coming through fast. It's not the chains. It's not the popularity. And to Yachty's point, I guess it's like people want that, so they're not willing to take that path. But I feel like they're literally just talking two different things.
It's a souffle. What's
like,
even in souffle?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? See how interested you is in it?
No,
That's
I'm
my
not.
point.
You sound.
Show you how to make the shit.
Pick them up when they done.
What is he talking about? No,
Bro, he act like you understand what I'm saying,
I don't, and I want to know at home. I want to know how y'all
bro,
feel about this because how.
I think what doesn't help Yachty as well in this interaction is his body language. It's so like rigid and so like in your face with it. I feel like if he was more chilled or if he was more loose, like Mitch or Key Glock, it would have been a little different. But I feel like he's like up, and obviously he may just be a passionate person. He may just be somebody that's like, this is how I interact, this is how I speak. But from the optics, and if you're just watching clips, because I originally saw this on TikTok, if you're just watching clips, you could be like, dang, like Yachty's tripping. And again, I still think he's tripping, but like this is not like, this is funny as heck because it's just miscommunication. That's what makes it funnier.
Please, bro.
Not in that predicament. How can he? Like, I could never tell him who don't know how he gonna pay his bills what to do.
No,
like,
I wouldn't tell him. I said suggest. I never
This is why they're not because they're literally saying two different things.
said tell him. I said I always said suggest.
Souffles?
No, I'm just saying, bro. It's other things,
like
bro.
What?
Like I'm saying I couldn't just say it off the
exactly.
Off the top.
That's gonna
I would have to think about it.
He might rob you right then.
I would have to think about it, bro.
Right, but I'm
saying I
asking
would think
you.
about it before I go to a nigga.
Key Glock's mic's not nowhere near his face. This man know he ain't gonna get a point in. The editor is funny for catching him nodding because this man is not. He has not gotten a chance to really get into this. This is obviously a back and forth, but I do think a conversation like that, it's not as crazy as they made it seem. But the way Yachty did come at him and you ain't want to get it, that's definitely something you could have handled in private. If that was something you felt that way, and this is not even. It's not like Mitch was disrespecting him or like going crazy. He literally just slightly disagreed. It's not even like a monstrous disagree. It's not like they're on opposite sides. They're fairly close. Mitch is like, I feel you. I agree. But I would still maybe suggest because XYZ.
I'm a nigga right now with a gun, and I want your chain. What are you gonna tell me?
Bro,
there's other things?
Bro, hold on.
Give me that chain.
No, bro.
Give me that chain.
No, okay.
Give me that chain.
I'm gonna
run that chain. Run that chain. Run that chain.
Nah, with the gun in the face, you're not gonna run that beat on. Just chill. You're not gonna run that beat on with the gun in the face.
Nigga, matter of fact, give me that phone too.
Yo, this is funny. Yachty's really cooking that boy in this latter part. It's more funny than it is controversial, but
give me that phone.
You ain't gonna do that.
Oh my God, you're right.
Don't do that.
And then what?
Oh, shit, you better go.
What are we even talking about? Shouts out to all the
that last laugh was
man.
Nah, bro. Nah, I ain't saying. Nah.
Like, look, no funny shit. No funny shit though. No funny shit. My first time ever going to jail, like jail,
finally he get to speak.
was 18. My first charge was aggravated robbery. And my first offer was 8 years.
Damn.
Bruh. I'm 18. It was 8 years. And they say I have to at least do 70%.
Damn.
Yeah.
How you get out?
I beat it. I ain't show up in court. It wasn't no case. They let me go preliminary here.
Wait, huh?
Yeah. Shout out to God.
They love saying shout out to God.
They let you go because you didn't go?
No, the people didn't show up.
Yeah, they didn't show, so it wasn't no cases.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Look how serious that is. Of course, I'm
When I
gonna
was
suggest something. Maybe I
18,
can't
bro.
just freestyle top of my head,
No,
but
I
I'm gonna try. That's
understand
what I'm
it's
saying.
serious.
And I get
but-
people gotta
But I'm
figure
saying,
it.
what would you even suggest?
Nah, and I ain't both. I think you confuse.
I feel like clarify it, Mitch, because he makes it seem like like somebody got the gun in your face, and it's like, hey, have you tried being a plumber? Like that sounds
You
crazy.
think I'm just saying it like it's just simple? I'm saying it's worth just trying to figure it out than just
No, I
letting
understand.
it just go down that path. That's all I was saying.
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying it's not worth it, but I'm saying what, like,
No, I agree with you on it. It's not
At the end of the day, actually, let me.
not easy, but I'm saying it's just worth the effort, though.
But then I'm asking you the effort part. What is it? You know, like imagine I hate when someone say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that," and they can't tell you what you should be doing then, because it's not easy. It's the same shit like people trying to tell you how to spend your money.
I get it, but it seems like I'm not gonna say he's purposely not listening to Mitch. I literally think this is just a big misunderstanding. I just think he's trying to, at the same time, in the beginning at least, he tried to like kind of like sun him a tiny bit. But the comments are tripping. This is not like some wild. Honestly, it doesn't even seem like some wild like back and forth. I can see from the clips when you see it, you're like, why would you talk to a guy like that? And I still agree. Any conversations that I would ever have with any of my like bros, I would literally, especially like this in front of everybody, nah, that would have been a private conversation. But this is literally what happens when you get a podcast, you get a mic, you start speaking, the thoughts start flowing freely, and sometimes you look crazy. That's why we need to relax with the mics. I know it's like, it's funny because it's a mic right here, but we just need to slow down.
With no money, you gonna tell me how to spend
Nah,
my
but I
money?
think
But
when it
then,
comes to robbery, it's a bit different. Like, yeah,
Well,
even if I don't have a better, that's like, bruh, just don't do like. Yeah, I don't know what's better, but I know that's not it. Like,
I know
what
for
the
a
fuck?
fact
I'm sorry, I
you've
can't
never
give you
told no one this. Who have you ever said this to?
Bro, one of the bros just came to me the other day, like, Mitch, I'm finna go do it tonight. I said, gang, think about it. I said, think about it, gang. Now, do you still want to do it? And he said, you know what, Mitch, nah.
How long did he think?
Yo, that's they're not taking Mitch seriously, and he's really spitting some truth. I'm not even making a joke. He's really spitting some truth, and I don't think they're taking him seriously. And that makes it just a tiny bit funnier because, like, this man's right. Like, in the long run, he's right. Although Yachty's not wrong either. When you're living a life and it's two things. You either super broke, they're not giving you a job, it's hard to... People turn to crime. That's usually more often than not. Or you just want to live like a rapper. You see a guy with the money, I'm going to take that money. It's greed-ish because you could work for it. People are going to rob regardless, I will admit. But I can agree with that. But I think in the long run, if you do have a voice, so you have the ability to kind of like talk to them and talk them down, I wouldn't say it's your responsibility per se. But if you care for that person, just be like, bro, just think about the risks. The risks may outweigh a few stacks and a few money spreads you balling on the IG. Like, it may not, you know?
Somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes. We sat there. It was a bit awkward. But, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, this is full of shit, bro. I don't understand him. I don't get it.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, first of all, you can tell he's being honest. You can tell he's being sincere. He's really talking about, like, something low-key important that we shouldn't be sending people on crash out missions. Now, crash outs, are they going to crash out? But, that's not, like, you're making him a joke, and I personally don't like that. So I can only imagine what Mitch could have crashed out too. He could have said something crazy. They could have went back and forth. Obviously, Mitch may have a bit more strength. It may be because Yachty is the breadwinner. It may be because he's a bit old, like Mitch is a bit older. Who knows? But shout out to Mitch for not going too crazy.
Easy.
But y'all get what I'm saying, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Though I'm just saying, like,
so look,
of course, okay, maybe.
The internet made it seem like Mitch was being like a liar. He wouldn't have said that. Dude is literally speaking from the perspective of somebody who's like looking back as an adult and being like, you know what? That probably wouldn't have been a good thing to do because he's older.
I'm just saying, like,
so look,
of course, okay,
what you
maybe I
would have
don't.
told 18-year-old Glock?
Okay, 18-year-old Glock, but
Yeah,
when he did the aggravator.
before I did it, yeah.
Ooh, okay. The 18-year-old got the gun, or is it on? Okay. All right. I probably would have, no cap, you would have came to me, Mitch, I'm finna go rob a nigga. I would have said, bro, all right, look, hold on, bro. You feel me? What's the problem? Why you feel like you need to go rob? You need some money or
What
something?
year is this? 2016?
2016, yeah. I graduated 15.
Bruh, 2016? But this, he first off, he was
Like he's low key missing the point, and then he's undermining it and making him kind of seem like a joke, which is kind of annoying. It's really annoying. I won't say kind of annoying. It's pretty annoying. But what makes it funny is that Mitch is really trying to like actually speak about something serious and kind of give y'all something serious.
He was in the boys and you worked in the boys and girls club.
Okay, 20. Okay, listen. Okay. Maybe we both don't got no money, but I said, all right, look, gang, put the gun down tomorrow. If we gotta.
Why was you in the boys and girls club? I forgot. Why was you there?
What I got to do with his point? His point is pretty valid, and this part where I'm like, oh, that's kind of lame.
Yeah. Why was you there? I can't.
Cause the judge said I needed a job to like not get 7 years in prison. So shit. But I learned from that, gang. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, yeah.
I learned from that.
I was locked up and all that. I learned. Yeah, I had community service and all that. But I learned from it.
We actually, so far, we haven't talked about anything on our actual doc. So let's actually get into this. There's a lot of Memphis artists, but for some.
All right, y'all. That was actually it. Y'all can let me know what you thought about the interaction. Overall, I don't think it is as crazy as the internet made it seem a little bit in the clips that I did. I first saw it on TikTok, and then I watched a bit of it, and then I wanted to react to it. Although I think they're missing Mitch's entire point. It isn't about like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't have said that. Obviously, Yachty's looking back like, dude, you wasn't living by that. But his whole point of you weren't living like that was kind of negated when Mitch was like, I learned from my mistakes. So I do think that the energy that Yachty gave him was a little off. That definitely could have been something, if you felt that strongly about it, could have been something spoken in private. But the way people on the internet made it seem like Mitch is out here disrespecting Yachty and he's being ungrateful, like it's not even like that. It does seem like two bros going back and forth, but I definitely would not have looked at my bro in his eyes and been like, imagine I wasn't in your life. Where would you have been? That to me is crazy. That's not how we do it, gang. That's actually very crazy. If you're going to help, and shout out to all the people that put me on to different things, but if you're going to help your guys, in my opinion, it should come definitely free of any price tags. You definitely shouldn't be throwing it into their face and reminding them. It's like when you feed the homeless and you're like recording it, like chill. You're a guy that probably wasn't as successful as you or needed your help because you made it up there first to pull him up. He still deserves a certain level of respect and decency. But overall, this wasn't as crazy as everyone made it seem. It's your boy, Young Misha, baby. Join me for the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. You already know. Comment what you think. What do you think? Like, I want to hear from you specifically. What do you think about this entire scenario? Let me know.